Welcome to Neutral News Network. Isaac G with politics, Jack T with sports, Ollie T with everything else. Today we answer the question, how is the climate change affecting the bushfires in Australia? We interviewed Mr. Shingrati and Ms. Fuller for more information on how this will affect the environment.
Hi Emerson, I'm Ollie T with the Neutral News Network here with Ms. Fuller to talk about the Australian bushfires.
Hello.
How do you think the global warming could affect the fires in Australia?
Well, global warming is one of the reasons that the fires are becoming such a problem in the first place. As you know, our climate is progressively changing as the years go on, and actually in December, did you know that Australia broke its climate record by reaching 107 degrees Fahrenheit? The next day it actually broke that record again. So with such a hot atmosphere, that really leads to fires. As you'll learn in 8th grade science, fires need three things in order to burn: heat, which is what's happening with global warming; fuel, which is all the dry environment; and then oxygen.
And what do you think we could do to help the people in Australia and stop the fires?
Right now they need money. The volunteer firemen, the fire department in general, they need to be able to have the support and the resources in order to make a difference with the fires. The people that have lost their homes, the wildlife that is being moved as well, everybody kind of just needs money in order to make that difference.
And lastly, do you think that this is a serious issue, or do you think that there are some other things going around in the world that we should find solutions first?
That's a tough question because everything could be a serious issue if it's your issue. So to the people in Australia, this is pretty critical. We're talking about loss of biodiversity in the environment. We're talking about tons of people losing their homes. There have been deaths of both, again, wildlife and then those people. So I think those in Australia would say this is pretty prominent.
All right, well, thank you for being in this interview. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Isaac G from Neutral News Network with Mr. Shingrati to talk about the Australian bushfires. So what are some things we can do to help stop these bushfires and to help the people in Australia?
Well, I think it's just being proactive when it comes to helping other countries out. I know as the United States, I think we should do a little bit more because we are a helping country. But how do you stop these fires? You know, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure how we can stop, but I think it's just being more proactive on what you're doing out in the wild. If you're having a campfire, so and so forth, you should make sure you read up on the fire regulation laws.
And what role do you think global warming has to play in these fires?
Global warming probably plays, I'm not 100% sure, I'm not a global warming scientist, but just from reading about different articles on this topic, global warming is obviously warming of the earth, and it's drying out a lot of the vegetation down in Australia. So, but I can't really say if it is from global warming or not. But just from what other scientists are saying, they're saying it could be.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, do you think that this is like a serious issue that we should act immediately, or do you think that something else is more important and we can kind of come up with a solution later?
But this is a serious issue. I think we could see in our own home when it comes to California having these different types of fires. But there is no immediate solution. There never will be. You can't just make a forest like green again. I mean, a lot of things are just dry because of no rain, little to no rain. So there won't be a solution. It's just little things that we can do. Obviously, just being proactive and not starting fires in these forests, not littering if you're a smoker or whatever, to make sure you dispose of that properly.
Thank you, Mr. Shingrati.
Thank you, Mr. Shingrati and Ms. Fuller, for those interviews. Here are the results from our survey. 25% of people would be likely to donate to the Australian bushfire cause. 47% of people think global warming is affecting the Australian bushfires. This is Neutral News Network signing off.